we have the Edge.
Yes. So my
Not the guitarist. From,
Yeah.
Oh, we got you to it.
Oh,
no, myself and now let me see if I can get his name right. I think it's Lukasz. Or no,
I don't think it is.
No, Pavel. Sorry, Pavel.
Yep.
Myself and Pavel are sitting down because we've been having a look at the Edge. You may have seen this week we put out the first of a 10-episode campaign series. But myself and Pavel, before we actually jumped into that, sat down to have a look at the different possible campaigns we could have and talk through what each one's like. So we'll have a quick look. Hello everybody and welcome. I am joined by Pavel from Awakened Realms and we are here to talk to you about The Edge Downfall. Now, you guys ran a really successful Kickstarter on this and created a monster box of stuff that people received. You actually sent us one of the war chests. We had a quick look through it. My God,
I saw the unboxing.
I have to admit, it's mildly intimidating for me. I looked at it and it's just like, big box, that's mildly intimidating. But we've brought you across because we actually want to get a closer look at the game and the campaign system that you guys have written up for it. Now, what we actually have on the table is the 3 campaigns that you guys created. So we've got Chapter versus Demons, Faceless versus Reborn, and what's this one?
Razak versus Dvergar.
There are 3 of them, and is there a specific order you would recommend people play them in?
You know, actually, I think we arranged them in the order we were used to play those. Actually, you can play them in any order, and those 3 are actually only PvP campaigns. So for those, you need to have an actual opponent, and then in the box, each of our supporters from Kickstarter got also a Darkness faction, the 7th faction. Yeah. And they have some AI system.
Very cool.
To use when you don't get an opponent. And also, if you manage to go through all those 3, they are interconnected with each other. So sometimes some choices from the Chapter versus Demons campaign will actually have some repercussions, so to say, in, for example, Razak versus Dvergar campaign. Without spoilers, I cannot tell you, you know...
Flash, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Yeah, I cannot tell you, like, you know, without some big spoilers, I cannot tell you much about those, where those interconnections happen. So, for example, sometimes... in Faceless versus Reborn, you will meet maybe some of the characters from one of the other campaigns.
I see.
Or if you played those campaigns earlier, this character may already be dead.
Aye. Now, one of the interesting things you've discussed with me is that the campaign actually has narrative triggers while you're playing your games. So could you give me like an example of one of those? In fact, actually, I tell you what. Let's go through each of these books and have a look at the very first scenario. And we'll have a talk about the triggers in each, because that's nothing too spoilery. That's just the trigger. We're not going to read what actually happens when it triggers.
Yeah. So let's start with Chapter versus Demons.
Chapter versus Demons. Okay. So this is the book. I have to say, your artwork is gorgeous, and the miniatures are wonderful for this.
I will relay that to the artists.
Well, it's very much appreciated whenever people do
those are just prologues, the basic rules for the campaign.
And then we get into our first one. So
this
scenario
is Black Stairs. So all right, we have a bit of a intro here, so there is some narrative going on,
and I'm seeing it for both sides. So you're getting the view from both factions. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you know, for your first playthrough, you may play as a chapter. You will make some choices. Your opponent will make some choices, and then after this playthrough of the campaign, you may want to swap sides, and then your demons might be, you know, your force may be a little bit different. You will be making some different choices, and the outcomes will be different also. So there is a lot of replayability on this level even.
Okay,
now switching the sides.
Now, question: where would we see our triggers here?
All right, so we have a setup part, and there are some special rules.
Yes.
Almost each of the campaign missions of the campaign scenarios have some special rules built in. So these are built on top of the normal game, of the normal skirmish PvP game. So we have in here, we have a time track. So we will have some time limit for our game. And for example, in this turn 3, we will have some script happening. Script 15 it is? Yeah, it's 15.
And then where are those in this book?
So those scripts are in the back of the book. Right. So you, most of the time, you know where to find them. You will find the script 15 and it will give you some narrative, what's happening. Cool. In this case, I think the demons will be joined by another of their forces.
Okay.
By another, you will get to place another miniature on the table, and it will join the fight.
Okay.
and we have also some achievements.
Mhm.
And those, for example, if the blacksmith joins battle, blacksmith being one of those demon forces,
Yeah.
and one of the holy knights is already dead,
Yeah.
so the demons will have something else to do. In this case, they can directly perform move and combat. So they
Ah.
will have some special extra buff
Yeah.
just for killing some this holy knight earlier in the game.
Let me have a look here. Now I'm seeing the forces size seem quite small. Is this a scaling campaign where you start off small and just more and more comes in?
Yeah, actually, you could use this campaign to teach you a bit about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just the only thing is that those campaigns are modifying some of the basic rules, sometimes very, very highly, so to say.
Okay.
So some of the modifications might, shift the balance of particular battles a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for each of the factions for this particular campaign, what are the playstyles for chapter and demons?
Okay, so in short, the chapter are your they are pretty defensive.
Mm-hmm.
They have some great shooting units. They have the snipers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have them on the
cover?
cover. No, we have those 3 holy knights. They are awesome.
And then this huge one in the
Angel
background.
of Death.
Yeah.
This is like an avatar of their god.
Mm-hmm.
They have some machine god kinda stuff going on, and this is actually a mechanical unit.
Ah.
And there is a one really great mission which you might or may not stumble upon during this campaign.
Oh, really? So there's some stuff you might miss because of
and
choices?
they are trying to get this angel to actually appear on the board.
Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun.
You have this demon onslaught. There are some background people working on this angel, on activating this behemoth to actually get rid of the demons.
Yeah.
And playstyle of the demons. They are modeled a bit after Roman legions.
Really?
So we are getting here, I think it's 7 Ferrat or Iron Legion, something like that. And they fallen from grace. So they are trying to regain, their honor.
Yeah.
So during the campaign, you will be making some pretty difficult choices, actually.
Yeah.
About whether you should, just storm ahead just to try to blood you as much as possible, just to regain this honor, or maybe be a little bit sneakier. It's not the best thing, actually. The demons do not like those.
Yeah.
And just to get some better outcomes.
Okay.
So they are your pretty debuff, kinda control faction.
I see.
So they are not those mindless demons, from the other universes.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Let's have a look at the Reborn versus, or the Faceless versus the Reborn. Again, gorgeous artwork, and inside the book we get the exact same starting stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, more or less.
And we then move to our first scenario. So what is this?
Hunters and the Prey. So this time we get to know those 2 forces.
All right. So we have our Faceless stuff here, our Reborn stuff here to give you your narrative, and then we have our triggers through here again.
Yeah.
And again, small forces to start with. Is this a running theme for all of the campaigns?
Yeah, all of those campaigns have smaller forces at the beginning, just to get the feel for each side. So even if you agreed to play, for example, you would play the Reborn, I would play the Faceless, and you don't like the playstyle, this game will take like 30 minutes to completion. So even if you don't like this playstyle, you could agree with your opponent to swap the sides, and you don't lose as much.
Yeah.
If you would play the complete game with 5 squads each, it would take a longer time, and if you don't like it, you can, just.
Well, I think this is nice for all the campaigns if they're like this, because it gives you that easy into your mechanics.
Yeah.
It gently brings you into it.
Yeah, most of those will give you at some point some pretty standard things for the standard PvP, like shrines and banners.
Yeah.
Banners are 1 use per passive turn. I will not get into much detail here on the mechanics of the game. We will do it later, probably.
Yeah.
And the shrines are actually the tokens. They are kind of terrain pieces you use on your board, and they give you some special advantages, sometimes disadvantages to the enemy. So, for example, Faceless have a healing shrine called Hatchery.
Okay.
And it heals your units in base-to-base contact. And the Reborn, they have actual opposite.
Okay.
It will deal you a damage
Oh.
when your forces are standing next to it, and you
Okay.
don't go next to it. So the Reborn are very, very board control faction, very highly specialized in that.
Okay.
They can move you around. They can ask your they can actually make your units go where they want. Then they can use some other unit to just make you stand there,
Yeah.
just so you will get those damage from their shrine.
Oof, that sounds a little bit.
Faceless, they are pretty adaptive.
Okay.
So you have some special cards, like for example, Pactus. It has 3 different tokens, and when you play it, you get to pick which attribute of your models it will affect.
Okay.
So they can grow. You could either go for a better attack or for better defense, for example.
Oh, you got to go attack.
Oh, sometimes defense is the best way, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
You'll see.
All right.
Probably.
So, okay, I'm kind of liking the sound of this. This is feeling quite nice.
This is also 5 turn. This one, and what else do we have here? Here for turn 3 we have a script 11.
Yeah.
And we don't get to read this script to actually use this one if the Blightsteed, one of the Reborn units, is already dead. So if the Faceless player will kill this Blightsteed before the turn 3, the script won't fire. So even in this first turn, even if this first scenario, within those 3 turns, the story might go twofold.
Yeah, see, I kind of like this because it's kind of signposting you when you're playing your first game.
Yeah.
Here's something you might want to kill.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Something good's going to happen if you don't.
Exactly. And each outcome of those scenarios might affect other scenarios during this campaign. For example, we have here rewards. And we have some special rewards. Sometimes when you do something extra, you will get some extra rewards. And for example, with Reborn, if you will get their objective, so you will survive with at least 1 Tree-Mate, you will get to read script 16. And if you survive with at least 2 Tree-Mates and 1 Ancient God, then you get to read script 19 instead. So you don't get in this part of the story, you get another one. And actually I think the script 19 lets you put some stickers onto the campaign board.
I was about to ask about this because whenever we opened the box we saw you had like multiple campaign maps in there, and you had a big sticker booklet. So that's what that's for. That interplays with these then.
Exactly. So you can get a campaign board, play through this campaign, put some stickers on it, and it will affect, for example, this campaign. You can then you will play the Chapter versus Demons on the same campaign board. You will be, some of the stickers might overlap actually.
Okay, that's interesting.
And still some of the choices will be shown on the main campaign map. So for example, city raised in Chapter versus Demons campaign will be still raised, smoldering ruin.
So
in
all
the
3
Razak
of these
versus
happen around
Berger.
the same time scale.
Yeah, it's around the same. For example, somewhere in the Faceless Reborn campaign, there will be some event happening. And this event is started in the Chapter versus Demons campaign, actually.
And what if I've played this one but not played this one yet, and that event hasn't happened in this campaign? Do you just
it's
pass
actually,
it back?
this one, actually, it goes well with the story. The story of the Chapter versus Demons campaign is so, like, you get the story of particular Chapter Border Patrol and this Iron Legion. And you get to see the bigger events unfolding, the big battles. So this big battle will happen regardless, actually, of your choice. So it will always happen for this campaign. No worries.
Okay.
There is no.
That's cool.
There is no more those big inconsistencies in setting. So no problem.
Okay, Faceless versus Reborn. That is a freaky looking tree, man. I've got to say. Okay, last one. Razak versus Dvergar.
Yeah, right.
So, beginning, we have pretty much the same things again, the basics of what you need to know. And then we go into the first of the scenarios. So what is this?
It's called First Encounter.
Okay.
And as you can see, or maybe not, those are Razak, actually. And
so what are the Razak?
Razak, they are like the most technologically advanced faction in the world of the Edge Downfall.
Okay.
They are they have like those, they are, how to say it? their minds are connected in the web, and then those minds are just downloaded, I think, to their bodies.
Okay.
Just to go for a special mission.
Yeah.
So in this case, you will get some more more analytical, so to say, world viewpoint, and they don't know their origin, so they are searching for it.
I see. And then the Dvergar?
And Dvergar are former slaves of the demons.
Oh.
The demons are going from the world to another one through some interdimensional portals or something.
Yeah.
And at some point they manage to subjugate the Dvergar.
Ah, okay.
And at some point those Dvergar manage to break free. So they are this, master, those siege masters. And the thing is that the demons, at some point, to get them to obey them, they planted some kind of arcane fire in them. So they are all the time, they need to fuel this fire because it sustains them, but also burns them from inside out.
Ooh.
So for example, the Dvergar player will have a special gas reserve during the campaign,
right?
And he needs to balance this use of this gas against how much can he actually find during the game.
Interesting. Oh wow, they actually do look really advanced.
Yeah, they just used some kind of portal to get to this world, and they are looking around for the clues about their origins.
And we have those same sort of triggers and stuff. So like for special events, as soon as the first Razak model dies, you read script 12. Achievements. If the Razak captured the Flamekeeper, they add 2 more to the research counter. I'm guessing, is this a resource for the campaign?
Yeah, exactly. They will be making some research about their origins, and when they reach a special threshold of this research, they will have some special modifiers happening.
I see. And then the Dvergar, there's a nice penalty here if they lose. This is not a spoiler. The Dvergar were chased away from the gas deposit before they could fully refill their tanks. Set the Dvergar temperature gauge to 4. Yeah,
that's exactly those.
Is that their resource then?
Yeah, exactly. If they will reach in the first page of the book, there is how this temperature gauge works. It's explained. So if they will ever reach this temperature gauge up to, I think it's 10. They will start to melt from the inside, but on the other hand, they will get some bonuses to their statistics because they go much and more quicker. This way, but it will come at a price of their endurance tokens of their wounds.
That's an interesting mechanic. I'm curious about that.
At some point, the Dvergar player might want to choose. We will go overdrive. We will slowly cure ourselves, but we will get another activations.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, well, as I'm sure everybody can guess, we haven't just brought Pavel across to sit and chat about the game, we've brought him across to play the game.
Yeah.
We're going to play one of these campaigns. However, I have to ask you, which one of these do you think is going to be the best for us to do? Now, I'm going to be honest, the sound of the Dvergar, they sound like they have a really interesting mechanic, but you know the game best. So what do you think is going to show off this game to its best light for everybody at home?
Between Razak and Dvergar and... Chapter and demons, I would go with Dvergars and Razak, but I don't think you played probably Edge at some point of its development.
I played it during its beta testing, whenever it was still in development.
So it was long time ago. The game changed a bit from that point. So
well, for
to learn the game...
For someone who knows the raw mechanics but needs to learn the finesse then, who would you say is the best faction to jump back in with for me personally?
Yeah, so for the raw mechanics, we would go with Chapter versus Demons. But if we want to show off something else in the actual factions,
well, I remember the raw framework. Faceless versus
Demon versus Reborn would be the best. I think so. That's maybe the case. I like to play Faceless, and I like how different the Reborn are.
Okay,
they have some completely different mechanics going on.
Well, I mean, like I do remember some of the main mechanics from whenever you guys were over the last time. You had the resource management, the activations for moving and attacking, and actually getting bonuses. Yeah,
those things haven't changed that much actually.
All right, so we'll go Faceless and Reborn.
Yeah, I think it would be the best. The Reborn are playing completely different game than Faceless.
Well, honestly, from the sound of the Reborn, I don't think they're my style of faction. So if it's okay, I'd like to take the Faceless.
Okay. I love playing Faceless. when people ask me which faction is for me, I love playing Faceless, but I am this, horde player without regard to particular models on the table. So, okay, I will go with Reborn. I won't be as happy with it, just to tell you. But still, I can work with Reborn. They are fine. I love to play them during the playtesting. So it works for me. And you like the artwork, so
yeah, the artwork was very cool on that one, and I'm intrigued by the two factions as you described them. All right, everybody.
Just a thing.
Huh?
Just a shout out.
Oh, yeah. You want to give a shout? Go ahead.
Actually, those campaigns were made by only. We were just doing the playtesting, but they were written by a professional writer, Krzysztof Piskorski. So he's really known guy around in Poland. He wrote some very good books. Maybe they will be available at some point in English, so we could, get to know him.
All right, well, the only thing left for you and me to do is to take this book, get ourselves set up, and start getting some games on. So, everybody, stay tuned, because myself and Pavel are going to be going through a full campaign for the Edge Downfall. Yes?
Yeah, you are already getting good with this, Pavel. Yeah, I can say that.
I'm sure we'll have enough videos for me to screw it up. Everybody, we'll move on. Stay tuned for the Let's Plays when they come out. We will see you very shortly.
See ya.